If your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother had to sell her body, the chances are it was probably to survive the winter. And if you're doing it today, with central heating, Wi-Fi, and a fridge full of Aldi snacks, she's probably rolling in her grave. And not in a sexy way.
What is this place?
By the gods, this chamber glows with light. Tell me, how do we prepare the food with such wonders?
Hey guys, who's gonna pay to see my
Oh, my heavens!
And let's be real, this isn't a brand new hot take. For thousands of years, monotheistic faiths, Christianity, Islam and Judaism, have called prostitution sinful, degrading and immoral. Even the creators today know it. They joke about it, lampoon it, because shame is baked into the territory. But if you zoom back further, before the Bible, before the Quran, into the earliest ancestor worship traditions, the contradiction gets starker. The body just wasn't flesh, it was lineage, spirit, the living shrine of family. So that's why it's so paradoxical when modern neo-pagan crystal witches hustle in lust while talking about goddess energy, because true ancestor veneration was never congruent with commodifying the self.
Prostitution could be seen as one of the world's oldest professions, but history tells us it was a choice that was rarely made in comfort. In ancient Corinth, sacred prostitution took place in the temple of Aphrodite, where priestesses offered themselves up in religious rites. In Greece, the lowest tiered sex workers, known as pornai, were often slaves in brothels. Meanwhile, hetairae were educated companions, politically influential, but still transactional. In Rome, prostitution was legal and state licensed, but sex workers were branded socially inferior.
A harlot for an empress.
Even when servicing senators. Across civilization, anthropology shows us the same pattern. Prostitution was a survival mechanism, the last card a woman can play when every other door was locked.
I was a harlot.
Here's a paradox. In antiquity, being objectified wasn't a feminist debate. It was a fact of life. Today, many women say, "Don't objectify me," while making careers from curated objectification. This is the era of consensual commodification. It is now often sold for significance, status, and validation. Through the Hermetic lens, this is polarity at work. Sacred feminine energy inverted into a market product. It's also cause and effect, a system engineered to turn the most intimate into a subscription model. On a personal level, the law of correspondence. A culture that tends to objectify itself from within will see that same pattern outside. The feminine principle is meant to be generative, giving life, giving art, giving culture, not pay-per-view access to pixelated puss. Second wave feminism asked, is sex work exploitation or is it empowerment? The uncomfortable answer, I guess, is it can be both. But when the empowerment narrative skips over the part where we see that our ancestors had no choice. So when modern sex work is framed as a glorious and glamorous legacy, we have to ask, are we honouring the feminine or are we cashing out her spirit for clicks? OnlyFans has over 230 million subscribers. That's more than the civilization of the Roman Empire. And let that sink in for a moment. Imagine if those same people, those same men, were politically active, spiritually engaged, building communities. That would be dangerous to the system of control.
Orwell, if he was alive today, would probably say football, beer, gambling, and e-pornai filled the horizons of their mind.
The real misogyny that isn't in desire, and it certainly doesn't just come from men, it happens within the communities of women too. But if her great-great-great-great-great-grandmother could see us now, she wouldn't be cheering on the hustle. She might be asking, why after centuries of fighting to choose your life, you chose to sell it?
It's empowering. Women have been repressed for so long. It's important that they express themselves. It's empowering. You don't get it.
All good. But I guess my only rebuttal to that is, why is the mental health of many of these creators so low?
The fact that you don't understand just shows you're a complete misogynist.
And I guess, yes, I'm a misogynist by 2025 standards. But in essence, I'm an original feminist. I love femininity so much that I hate to see it implode under the weight of its own freedom.
It doesn't even affect you. I don't know why you let it bother you so much.
You're right. It doesn't change the price of eggs, but it does change the market in which the eggs are sold. Loneliness, isolation, relationship breakdown, and plummeting birth rates. The statistics would say otherwise.
You're just jealous, honey, because they make more than your broke ass.
Probably. Average OnlyFans creator makes less than minimum wage, while the top 1% take a third of all the money in that market cap. So unless you're in the digital aristocracy of thirst, you're hustling for scraps. And being such a feminist, I know you've got more to offer than that.